Alright, we're back. I think. Are we? It says here we are. It's back. Yeah, I don't know what to say except I think when I got the new graphics card, the graphics card is great, but it's too strong for either my RAM or my OS. Not my OS, my processor. So it sometimes kind of like overwhelms it, for lack of better terms. It's dropped a few times for me. The I I don't know what to tell you, man. Like it until I really hunker down and get all the extra stuff to go with this graphics card. It's it's gonna probably do this. I think I'll get some new RAM when I can afford it. Probably around about later in the year, autumn or something like that. And I will get well, I'll try anyway. I mean, you just saw there the way the chat just kind of came back. Well, thank you so much for the like, whoever did. For this one, I'll just post it on the chat general. Come and watch. So, yeah, sorry about that, folks. We're back now. CPU red. What PSU have you got, and what card is it? Uh, Let me bring up the information. System info. I got a Ryzen 7 38 8-core processor. Baseboard product, wrong string. System model AMD SF Gaming. I had the box for the fucking. Those are resources? No. Components? No, this is all the software. When I'm done, I can post up a whole thing. I'm not saying it's the most powerful thing. Hmm. Well, look, we'll just get back to this. We're back now. It happens sometimes. It's just very odd. I guess I have to upgrade the processor anyway because it's a the base bitched one that came with this. So I gotta switch that out. So a bit more RAM then wouldn't go amiss. Find out how many watts the power supply is running. Yeah, yeah, I can. Well, I have down here Corsair CV450. I'm guessing that's the power supply. Gigabyte is the name of the card. I got that solely for my to play Total Warhammer 3. And while it runs it really slow. So I'm guessing the card is great. Everything else can't keep up. Bingo. What? It's the Corsair. That's the problem. Get a bigger power supply. Well, I probably should do that anyway, considering I'm going to be upgrading everything else on this. So yeah, maybe the next thing I should do is get a better power supply. Yeah, gold or platinum rated. Sweet. And we don't have the time to. We don't have the time to watch. To go through like a tech stream. That should be a dedicated stream in and of itself. It looks like a lasagna. Looks lovely. So greasy. Oh, look at that heart attack. It looks like the base of like a cake. This is Detroit style. A style I've not had. That's fine. Probably more bread than I was expecting, but better than just sauce, you know? Yeah, look at that thick. That's like the Goodfellas, the old Goodfellas deep dish pizza before they changed it. So yeah, all right, fair enough. I guess it's drawing too much power than the Corsair can provide. That's fair. At least if that's the problem. If not, I should still change it anyway. Uh, all right. Well, we should watch Daily Dose. Let's see what's going on with him. Daily Dose of Internet. Arm shouldn't bend like this. We already see this. Please don't do this to your baby. Please say it's being launched in a tiny little baby-sized cannon. Please put him in a little baby-sized cannon and fire him like he's at the circus.
Hello everyone, this is your Daily Dose of Internet.
Sir, what do you think of Daddy's onion breath?
That was cruel.
The most magnificent looking feller I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you, bro.
God.
He be vibin'. He be living his best. See, Cobes, that's a true cowboy bad boy. Detroit style is thicker. Yeah, but that's just it then, isn't it? It's just bread. You're just getting a giant fucking... All you're doing then is getting a big crunchy roll and pouring all the ingredients on top of it, which is fine, but all you're doing then is filling up with bread. That is probably really great when you're drunk. But, like, what if you want, like, a thin crust pizza? What if you want, like, a thin-based motherfucker?
Wait, let me get one more good look at you before I never see you again in my life.
This is getting creepy.
Yeah.
The president of Argentina got a new plane and wanted to show off.
What? No! That wouldn't be fun to be in the plane, like in the actual like cabin, in the actual like cockpit. That would be fine. But in the actual plane, the drink carts would be flying everywhere. Ooh, maybe they're trying to be smug and like having the trolley dolly, the flight attendant. She falls into his lap. It's going to be a very long flight, madam.
I have never seen a cat drink via Bluetooth before.
Can I get a water cup? Can I get soda instead? Huh? Can I get soda instead? You don't care?
No, they don't care.
Let me speak to your
It's
manager real
fine.
quick. Hey manager, can I talk to you real quick? She is amazing. She needs a raise.
These firefighters use a device to look into a home.
Oh, nice. I have noticed that before. Like, they'll just sometimes give you, and like when I was in Popeyes, I didn't actually have enough for the food and the drink, so I kept. I was just gonna have nothing, and he's like, you know, you can just get water or whatever, a soda you want over there. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't think I brought enough for everything. And she was like, no, you can just do that.
Home to find survivors. They saw what appeared to be an outline of a baby sitting in a chair.
What we really have is a baby doll.
Oh. What?
This delivery driver couldn't resist the temptation.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing? Hello.
Harry Boudreau, top of the slide shot.
Look at how this bridge in New York is designed to bend on really windy days.
Yep. The Golden Gate does that too. Though that did that by accident a little bit as well. It sounds like a tripod from War of the Worlds. Woo! What the fuck is that?
A diver
Oh,
found a
it's a spider.
pufferfish with something strange on it.
Is that a piece of toilet paper?
After a closer look, turns out it was just some weird looking poop.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh no!
Okay.
Hi. Hi.
Aww.
This orangutan really wanted to see the baby.
Yes.
This spider thinks this cursor is potential food.
I've seen it with cats, I've not seen it with a spider.
That is the end of this video, or we hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again.
Baby elephants are awesome. I like there's this elephants are weird because they're like humans in that they have a vast range of intelligence. There's those ones in Southeast Asia that will like hold up traffic for sugarcane trucks. They got all the sugarcane on the back and they'll stop it until you basically pay the toll of some sugarcane before they let it go. And then you've got another one, which is also in Southeast Asia, that has an elephant trying to hide from a human by hiding behind a telephone pole. So it's just like, its head is like right there, like, you can't see me. It's like fucking huge elephant. Oh, elephants, you're awesome. Elephant. Walter Fade actually uploaded a... No, he's only... I think he only uploaded one. And if he only uploaded one, then we won't watch his stuff. If he's uploaded two, then... No, it's Fatal Walter. My bad. You have to change his channel name. I forget why. Yeah, he's only done the one, so we'll leave that till tomorrow. A little hint. I'll actually quickly...
Hey everyone.
Hey everyone. Ah, fuck it. It's almost 20 minutes long. But I'm also intrigued by this because, as many know, many people are saying this. I'm a bit of a dom. I am a bit of a dom. Daddy knows what daddy likes. So I love making fun of like bad doms. The worst doms are like so mouthy and fucking. I wonder how many of them are actually subs and they've just never realized it.
Everyone, my name's Walter, and I'm back here from a bit of a break to bring you more posts and/or stories from Reddit.
We need to get him
Today
back
we're
on the
reading
show.
about some nice guys once again. Nice guys are men who have decided that they should make being nice their entire personality.
Why did they show
So they
Magicus
come on
earlier?
too strong and give gifts and stuff. But it's not really who they are. You'll see if you don't already know, so let's just begin with nice guys from Reddit. These posts come to us from Reddit Nice Guys, as usual. Why do I try so hard? I'm so good to children, people's kids, and get screamed out like I'm a piece of shit over and over.
In the end, it doesn't really matter.
I don't care. I'm a nice person, and I'm told that's why I'm single. But if I had to be a fucking asshole in order to get a
Who says
girlfriend,
that?
I'd rather not have
Andrew
one.
Tate?
Because love isn't about being a jerk to each other. It's about taking care of each other. And if all women care about these days is being treated like shit, I'd rather be fucking single. Just saying, not trying to offend anybody with my language or my reasoning, but I'm so fucking done with women saying, sorry, but you're too nice. I'm sorry, did you want me to punch you in the face before I compliment you? Or do you want me to punch you in the face and install you? Like, give me a fucking break. I try my best with everything I do. All I do is care about other people, and I love women more than anything. But apparently I'm not good enough for any of them because I'm
Almost as much as I
quote-unquote
love
too
Ozzy
nice.
Osbourne.
What a load of horse shit. Your asshole boyfriend isn't going to last too long. He's either going to cheat on you, he's going to beat you up, or mentally abuse you. While me, on the other hand, believe in happy wife, happy life. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. But nowadays, nobody gives a shit about that, so I'm literally giving up on finding somebody.
He is that fucking Wojak meme of the guy with the glasses and like the black hair and the very sort of snooty. Like, dude, this is why you don't make a scree like this drunk. And even if he's not drunk, there's no excuse. I'm too nice. No one fucking thinks that unless you're like a 12-year-old or an Andrew Tate fan. The only people who promote that shit is fucking Andrew Tate and other people like him, other like pickup artists and incellers and black pillars and shit like that. It's so fucking weird. Don't be weird. You just want love. You want sex. You want understanding. You want acceptance. Well, guess what? The reason why they don't want to accept you is because you give off creepy incel vibes. Well, look at that. Oh, when you see a text spiel like this, it's never a good sign to begin with. So you're already off to a great start.
Someone wants to find me, you know where to find me, but I'm fucking done. Does anyone really say I don't want to be with you because you're too nice?
No!
Is he sure it's not like your gifts make me uncomfortable or you wear a literal fedora? I've posted this guy before. He doesn't have a job, can't drive, and lives in a basement.
Really?
Yeah, just like most YouTubers.
Yeah.
If too many women say they won't date you because
Hey,
you're too nice,
I
that
don't have
typically
a job because it always results in bloodshed. Okay? And the army's not going to take me back. I can't afford another PR disaster.
is a euphemism for they're afraid you'd hurt
Those
them if they tell you
orphans
you're
opened fire
abrasive.
on me first, damn it.
Or overbearing. I've met guys who are so unbelievably
doing my
overbearing to
duty.
women they like. They want to do everything for them to the point where it's really uncomfortable. In their head, they're just being nice, but it comes off extremely clingy and feels more like a helicopter parent than a partner.
Yeah.
So this next series of messages starts with what he must think is a very smooth line. I hope you know the only fabric I wear is husband material.
Oh, he posted
I'm not going to
this.
be quiet about liking you. And I've done really well, so I can absolutely see you anytime I want. You just have to pull the trigger. My biggest pet peeve is wasting my time. But I'll always be your biggest hype man. I can't waste time because it takes care of many families. It's not an arrogance thing. Hope all is well. I am
Yeah.
flattered, but I'm not looking to date anyone right now. I'm really invested in traveling on my own at this time in my life. But again, I appreciate the kind words you've shared with me. LOL, you're silly. That's not what I'm looking for either.
Silly.
I said I like you, not that I want to date you. Obviously, you're living in nomad life. It doesn't work that way. I'm just saying, let's kick it can when I'm where you're at. LOL.
I just like you. You're silly. Say fair. Alright? It was already creepy that you did that in the first place. It's kind of now weird. Don't be a creepo. Don't be a weirdo. There's weird that's good and weird that's bad. It's like there's good sex and bad sex. And it does. Like
I
good
want a
sex and
super
bad
badass
sex.
chick, and I absolutely want the
There's no
best. Not saying you're not that girl, but I haven't seen you since college. All I want to do is have some fun. And if I'm in the area, let's hang out. We know each other-ish. The ish is because I haven't seen you in forever. LOL.
The ish.
I hope this is not insulting, but just reassuring the fact that I am your friend. So the proof that he's not hitting on her is because he's not sure she's good enough for him. But no offense, of course. What a fucking oaf. Because the life I live is
I like
not a
the use
Western
of the term
culture life
oaf
anymore.
there.
So most of the women here don't even intrigue me. That's why 50% of men are heading overseas to find women. They're called passport bros. And if you are dating a girl here, they're zombie women. You know I. LOL, obviously you read this.
This is clear sign to me that this motherfucker spends so much time online that he's kind of like those right winger who's obsessed with the whole fact that Zelda is Let's stalker. I read that as ordinary sausage. And he's just in the bushes outside her house. Let's stalker. Here I am cutting over the gate into her house. Yeah, these panties smell used. Oh, at that point, it's almost sweet to think that someone would be physically stalking you. That's a dying art. We need return to tradition. We need every tree or lamppost outside of your house to be a nest, so someone could have a little tiny set of binoculars. Oh, I see you've gone to the toilet for the 5th time in the past 2 hours. Someone shouldn't have gone to Taco Bell.
Apparently. Now you're getting the education. Talk to your men. Men don't need women from here.
Men.
Most women in America are garbage. No offense. I don't mean it that way, but I'm a self-made millionaire. I don't need any woman from here, and most of them do not have it. Actually, I think your entire response is garbage.
Flex so hard. It's like that guy at the beach who was like, "Oh, I've got worth $10 million. I can punch. I'm 13 inches." Like, why? How can you be like? Look at Elon. He's the wealthiest person. Well, he's at least one of the wealthiest people. I don't think he's the wealthiest person alive anymore, but he's one of the wealthiest people alive. And yet, when he flexes it, it's so pathetic. Credit where it's due. And he's not the greatest person on the planet. But fucking Bill Gates was more respectable with his money. He'd be like, yeah, I guess I'm the wealthiest man who's ever lived. I don't know. Maybe. There was that Masamundi guy. He might have been, or, you know, he might have been more wealthy than me. Yeah, you know. Okay. I don't have any problem saying that, I guess. Maybe. Whatever. It's not a big deal to me. Then he just goes and builds himself the Ulta house, you know? His smart house was so poorly designed, he got locked out of that thing 6 times. And for the first few times, he refused to get a regular key because he needed people to see this was the future. It might be the future someday. Maybe even someday like now for some people. But he was still a long way off when he had that built.
Look, I was trying to be nice, but now I'll just be direct. I am not interested in continuing a conversation any longer. I don't need any man in my life that thinks any group of women are garbage and zombies. Good luck abroad. You remember how this guy said his pet peeve is wasting time? So you'd think he'd give up after that firm rejection and try his edgy anti-America shtick on someone else. But of course he doesn't. Right, you don't even know what I'm talking about. The term zombie is not a female term. It's for a couple, so when you take that as a misogynistic remark, that is not what it means. It is about two people that date, break
A very sane response.
up because they don't get along, go date other people, and come back to each other. Wow, is that what zombies are? How did I watch like 7 seasons of The Walking Dead and not figure that out? When I say women are garbage from here, it doesn't mean that men aren't too. And if you read my message more closely, you would understand that it was not that blanket statement that covers everyone, but only of the majority, which is why divorce rate is now in the 60%. And I'm also not looking abroad. I'm just looking for good people. I'm never anything but nice, kind, and respectful. So when I say these terms, these are not things that are coming from me, but facts that are produced via edu source. Meaning they're not from a politically or agenda daedric resource. They are actual facts that have been produced by universities.
What? Agendic data. Everyone has an agenda. Everyone. Every university. Every person. There is no such thing as pure, unbiased data. Because if that was the case, there's a different thing that's called propaganda. That's why you point at these things that make no sense in the real world, but make your feels feel better and give you a sense of entitlement. While the rest of the world is like, oh yeah, gender's a spectrum. Oh yeah, there's no sign that race is a factor in someone's intelligence. Yeah, there's climate change. Here's all the information on climate change. No, but these scientific papers. And then you know, if you look at the citations, they're not there. They're coming from discredited or disproven sources, or they're like a little cut out little piece of like a big graph. That one I learned from Pothole 54. When he was like talking about how like the ice caps are melting, and someone's like, no, this scientific paper proves that the ice caps aren't melting, and then they show like a clip of like a picture of it. It's like, well, that's very interesting, let's zoom out, and then he zooms out and it's like, oh, and it was going up and down and up and down and down and up and down and then these fuckers can vote.
Yeah, I guess it's been proven by universities that Western women are garbage.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the math on that one.
Who would you?
She had to block him at this
How
point
would
because
you
he somehow wasn't
fund?
shutting up still.
How would you
This
fund
motherfucker
those?
pulling out resources to excuse his shittiness, LMAO. You haven't talked to me and don't remember me, but you need to prove that you are still fuckable-ish. This guy. The amount this guy used LOL before he got angry makes me think he's perhaps around my age, which just makes it more sad. I'm
LOL.
husband material, but when rejected. LOL, you big dummy. I never said I wanted to date you. It's unfortunate, but most women in the West are not worth marrying. Yes, very few women are worth marrying. 90...
I could already tell. This motherfucker watches K-On! The anime. Why? Because it is... I don't know why, but K-On! Is this giant fucking beacon for right-wingers. If you don't know what K-On! Is, I'm just going to show you the screenshot of it. I have to make sure there's no, like, weird... Yeah, this is perfect. I hope you immediately see why a certain individual, a certain phenotype, a certain group of people might find a anime about a bunch of cute anime girls in schoolgirl outfits doing vibin' shit might be very interesting, let's say. It might perk their interest. It might raise their sales. But why there's a Nazi connection, I still don't get. Other than whenever you see like right-wingers who are like proud fascist Matt Walsh fuckers who also like this, they are usually like, they're teenagers, 20s, they're neats, basically. And there's not a guarantee overlap between a neat and this. I want to make that abundantly clear, but there seems to be some correlation. They're like pulling the gravity between the two, you know? This fucking anime brings out right-wingers who then point and go, I want an anime girlfriend like that. But they might as well give these fuckers angel wings because they're so saccharine and unrealistic and just cute all the time. Everything is cute all the time. Everything's sweet all the time. Everything's nice all the time. Everything's soft all the time. My Little Pony, there's a correlation between some Nazis and right-wingers and My Little Pony. And yes, also a correlation with a lot of people who haven't come out as trans or gay yet, or I suppose both. But I just don't see it. When you look at it, it does not scream, we want to create the Fourth Reich. There's only one blonde in this whole thing, for starters. But then they'll go online and they'll say, why can't real women be like this? Because this is a cartoon, and it's a cartoon for basically lolly bait. It's lolly bait for people who want little girls. They don't want women because women have baggage. Every woman does, even the most like straight-laced, no-nonsense woman. They have baggage. Baggage is good in some respects because it means that they've lived. All the hotties have baggage. All the nutties are, no matter how they're built, are these basically these like plastic dolls. Stepford wife motherfuckers. Or little girls. So the chat isn't working for me. Well, it's working now. I can solve that at least.
Percent of women spend their 20s, 30s sleeping with the bad boys and chasing rich guys, increasing their body counts to record numbers that would shock a porn actress. Most women choose to party and enjoy
Shock
hot girl
a
summer
porn
with
act-
Chad,
based
Tyrone,
on
or Enrique
what?
over a nice guy, or too busy chasing her career and choosing to work 20 plus years for a male.
Like, think about it. Like, what's the most disparity I ever had was I had been with 5 people, they had been with 10. Now I'm sitting around about 10, and I have no idea what they do with their lives now. That's what I know. I didn't care then, I wouldn't care now. But a porn actress? A porn actress will fuck like 40 dudes in a month. The really busy ones anyway. 40 dudes and women as well. And MBs, you know, if they're progressive like that.
CEO in a corporation that won't care about her once she retires. By the time the woman is ready to marry, she's already in her late 30s
Woman.
/ 40s plus years old and not so cute anymore. By then, the woman has developed a cutthroat,
The
toxic,
woman.
masculine, unpleasant personality. Is usually a
Masculine.
single mother with kids no one wants to deal with by some jerk she fell in love with that didn't care about her because he was a player. But hey, that's just my experience and the experience of many of my male friends.
Oh, that's
That's
maybe
why I stick to
passive
younger,
aggressive.
more feminine, submissive, sweeter women.
What can I do with this? They write themselves into their own stereotype. They write themselves into their own stereotype. Why can't they be more like Asian women who are submissive and breedable? You want a submissive and breedable motherfucker? Okay. Then convert to Islam. Go fight for ISIS. They will give you a woman. Seeing that they're not people, they're just objects. They're lesser people. Oh, well, actually, the ancient Greek philosopher said such and such said that, yeah, they also thought bees could detect earthquakes. Well, that one was wrong. Oh, no. No. It's the same with the Bible. These fuckers are so fucking obnoxious. I am really glad that they don't breed. But then you find out like someone like Steven Crowder breeds. But then he loses his wife because he's a piece of shit and no one would want to live with this. They're fucking man children. I almost don't want to go after them. I want to go after their parents and grill them over, like, even if their parents are like 60 or 70 or whatever. And I'd show them their worst sayings, their worst things. And be like, well, what do you think about this person? Where did they get it from? Why do they think that a man must be constantly coddled by a woman? If a woman and a man want this sort of situation, sure. It's kind of like the baby fetish people who are like, they want to be seen as a baby and they just like act like a baby all day. I really don't fucking get it. But I suppose it doesn't harm anyone if it's all consensual, kind of like the whole cuckoldry thing. But it's there at the far end of what I consider acceptable. Anything more like that has like major red flags. Like people who want to beat each other up to get off, or like bring guns into the bedroom. And I know at least one person who likes to bring knives into the bedroom.
That last line just makes your skin crawl, doesn't it?
Yes.
And they have no problem with just using the word submissive, too.
Yep.
Like they just
Submissive.
want her to submit every time. And she'll have to, because she'll be half his age and he'll have the money.
Yeah.
I can see why women would rather have a career than get with this guy. Am I the asshole for taking the longer route to spend more time with her? It says the post was deleted, so it must not have gone over very well. I, 19 male, work a full-time job in the tech industry. My role is 100% remote, so I rarely have a reason to go outside. However, after recording data on my personal life, I concluded that my social life was in poor state. As a result, I decided to pursue hobbies that would allow me to befriend people my age and meet women. One such hobby led me to connect.
This sounds like an AI bot wrote this. What the fuck? Oh, by the way, guys, I want to finish this battle before we end the stream. And that means donations. Hi, you're back. Well, we've been back for about 40 minutes now. Do check the Discord. That's why I at everyone and shit. Red Eye got to the bottom of it when I upgraded the computer. Sorry about... Don't say sorry. Don't say sorry. Work to pay it off. But, no. He says that most likely when I upgrade on my computer, my power supply can't keep up. So I need a good power distributor. And they're not the end of the world. A silver or gold one, though, like in terms of price. I guess once I'm done with preparing all these trips for the rest of the year, I will go and buy that. But yeah, we're watching a nice guy talk about being... He need... well, in this case, apparently, it has to do with something about travel. So let's find out.
With a group of physically active young adults. I was instantly taken by a woman, 22
Oh yeah, if anyone
female,
donates,
Amira,
I'll
in
finish the
group.
rest of this bottle.
She is slim with a small waist and perfectly round breasts. The cherry on top is her face. Her sense of humor is rather childish, but I was still fascinated.
What the
Does this
fuck?
guy really think this is a normal...
No, it isn't normal. He sounds like he might be autistic. He's 19. He shouldn't talk like that. Like, that sounds like he's a fucking cyborg. You know, like... Gene wouldn't talk like that, and he's not only young, he's fucking, like, ace. So he has no bearing on how to talk, like, people, like, romantically. Which, he doesn't need to bring her up, the details on her, anyway. Like, I don't see how that is her perfect hips and round breasts. I don't see how... that has to do with anything, honestly. But yeah, he sounds like he might be on the spectrum. He might be a little bit on the dum-dum. Sounds like a bit like my high school sweetheart. Oh, wait, Walter or the guy on screen? Not Christian, unless you want to tell something to the chat there, Raisin.
description to give of someone? Yeah, the title let me know you're into her. You don't have to tell me exactly what she looks like.
Yeah.
One morning, 6 of us went hiking together. We decided to hold a mini competition. We'd go off into pairs and chose 3 different routes to complete the trail. Whichever pair completed the trail first would be crowned the winner. I knew the route well as I had studied the area the night before. However, Amira wasn't familiar with the trail at all. I volunteered to be her guide and companion for the competition. Our only aid were physical maps. As soon as we embarked on the journey, I decided that it would prove fruitful to seize this opportunity to get to know her. I purposely chose a long, complex detour so we could spend more time together.
Your mother's appearance is comical to me. It's... Dude, like... You sound like a nerd from like a kids show in the 90s. When it was like a group of all like types of friends. You had the like imagine Recess. You know, like you got the bad boy, cool kid. You got Spinelli, the tough girl. You got Gus, the nerd, the military kid, the straight-laced one. But then you had like the glasses girl, and she she talked like a robot. You get that she's meant to be super smart and shit, but no one really talks like that. It's very beep boop beep boop beep boop. This kid does. When he came up to me first time, I made a point to say he was doing it stupid, but he liked the scenery. Sit there and stare at me. Oh, you know he was working that in his brain for hours before coming up and saying something to you.
At the start, we made great conversation, and I found out a lot about her. However, as time went by, she grew more frustrated. She kept looking at the map and insisting we're going the wrong way. I told her that the maps were not accurate, as they didn't account for path closures and other factors. This was not the truth. After a while, she grew more stressed and claimed she needed a toilet. We did find a place she could relieve herself, and this seemed to have given her some peace. After about 6 hours, the trail itself was roughly 3 hours.
A toilet.
We started making our way back.
Miturate?
Amira had already communicated with the group and began accusing me of taking unnecessary detours. I simply pointed out her desirable physical features and the impact they have on me. I thought she would be pleased to hear these compliments.
Oh no! No! He told her to her face! Oh, and he said it. Oh my god. These fuckers have no. Or at least they're young. You're a high school person. This guy's only 19. No. No, Imagine you're here with your friends. You went hiking. And then you go like, why did you want to? Well, you have wide hips and round breasts. I find them physically fascinating and I wish to partake in them. So I convoluted a situation to allow us to sojourn somewhere. You sound like Data from Star Trek, but at least he was honest because he had no emotions to base off. So he wouldn't have even done that. He'd have just been like, I wish to begin courting rituals with you. You know? He pet and smelled my hair in the locker when I was dating his lab partner. Okay, that's the sort of fucker that will end up, like, he needs someone in his life to basically take him aside and go, no, I don't care what's going on in your brain. I don't care while you get some government assistance. No, you don't do that to someone. Like, there will come a point where he will, I don't know, pull down a girl's pants because he thinks maybe she's wearing a thong that would be good looking. That's actually a really selfish attitude. Everyone on the planet has the urge just to, like, if they see someone attractive, go over and physically engage with them right away. Everyone. And some people conflate, like, confidence and directness with just uncaring, like, just greed. Oh, your hair looked soft, so I went and touched it. How many black women have to deal with that one, huh? Where they just like, oh my god, your hair, is it real? It took me years to realize that's actually a thing black women have to deal with. Or the fact that a lot of their styling products are like behind in like secondary, like out of the way areas, like behind sealed off cases. But it's so fucking stupid just to, like, don't go up and touch a woman right away. Like, I remember when I was like 15, 16 and we'd watch the girls. Every guy would watch the girls together and they'd be all like, you see her? When they were doing, like, I remember the girls were doing handstands. But they were all wearing the Catholic schoolgirl outfits because Ireland. So, of course, we all wore the Catholic outfits. And that meant for them giant ass plaid skirts. Not mini skirts. You could do that in some other schools. Our ones, it went well below the knee. But if they wanted to do handstands, they couldn't, right? So the girls were kind of like doing handstands, but they couldn't do it too much because they were like, they would always look over at the boys. And then the guys were like, don't let us stop you. And I thought kind of the same way too, but I couldn't say it because I was too nervous. But then they'd all like talk among themselves. But then later on, someone actually went up and like pulled down her fucking skirt. There's talking among yourselves. There's fantasizing about it. You can't, no one could take your fantasies away from you. But like, what the fuck? Like, don't go and don't go and harass women at all, but don't go and physically harass women, or men for that matter. Don't go and physically. To be honest, he's diagnosed psychopath who works in politics now. Oh, that's good. I'm sure he knows where the bodies are buried. On the plus side, when he's outed by one of his victims, you can then make a little video explaining your history with him. Yeah, come on my channel. I'll give you a platform.
But she was not. She told me to stop describing her at all, and that she doesn't want to hear about my biological responses.
Yes!
She did not speak to me for the rest of our journey. I've since been kicked out of the group. In
Yes.
fact, everyone in the group has labeled me all sorts of things.
Good.
Amira described me as a selfish, weird asshole, and asked me to stay far away from her. I suspect these feelings are temporary, and born out of confusion more than anything. Am I the asshole for attempting to nurture our
Yes.
connection with the
Yes,
landscape
yes,
serving as
yes,
a beautiful
yes,
backdrop
yes,
to what
yes,
could have been?
yes.
Or should I have not used this particular activity to carry out my plan?
Beep,
What the
beep,
hell
beep.
was the plan anyway? To trick her into a 6-hour date? Who sets out to hike for 3 hours and wouldn't get pissed if it somehow took more than twice that long? He admitted to Reddit he was lying to her too.
I just go, yeah, your ass is very No, I wouldn't say ass. I'd be like, yes, your rear end is quite aesthetically pleasing. Two guns, due to your extreme height, you would most likely pass very favorable genes on to other people. Look at Magicus. Unfortunately, Magicus, due to your low height, I just fucking grate you all on like a biological scale. And then if you were to turn around and say these things like to me, I'd be like, how could you do that? No, that's not how it works. That's against the rules. And then I'd run off. Like this almost sounds not real at this point. I honestly don't think public school would work for this kid particular. I think he should have gone to a special school who would have taught him simple things, you know, like write down what you do in this situation. I'd ask how many children she thinks she can produce in a year. Well, first of all, she can probably only produce one. Second of all, no! 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 No, 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 no. We'll start from the beginning. Especially because like it was a multi-choice question and he just wrote it at the bottom. Yeah, right? People can behave very tight ways, even intruding your space. Oh, they don't get that, or they don't care. They've actually, a lot of them aren't really aware. Here's a genuine truth. Like, a lot of the selfish people in this world forget that other people are people, or they know it in an abstract, distant way. Only when something really... Ooh, great example. The woman in Korea who recently got arrested. She invited a woman out and murdered her and hacked up her body and then transported herself out to the woods with a briefcase behind her. When she was caught, no joke, she said she was obsessed with those crime and investigation stories, the movies, and the documentaries, and she was just curious to see what it would be like to murder someone. As soon as she murdered someone, she said she felt regret. Like, it just clicked what she did. Here's the thing. Life in prison. No excuse. That's not a defense. Oh, you only know after the fact that you shouldn't rape someone? Who the fuck needs that? That's like shooting someone and then being shocked that you've just murdered someone. That happens in war a lot of times. You often hear about that. Well, in all fairness, you shouldn't be. What did that gun in your hand was there, soldier? You have to point it at the enemy and take them down. It's a lot better that you're sad that you're not sad, but what about when it's something like, hey, a girl was really drunk down this alleyway, so I ripped her clothes off and started doing things to her. Only afterwards did I realize I really shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. Fuck that shite. No, the life gives people red flags for years. It's very rare that people are self-conscious enough that they understand what they're doing is fucking weird and even scary. Muddy asshole posts confuse me sometimes, even if you're not sure once you write that out, shouldn't you know? No, actually, because a lot of times you get a lot of different responses. It's actually quite rare that someone this... Like, some of the stories get really complicated. You know, you yell at someone at a party because they've been treating you like shit for years, but you did it at the most opportunistic, twisty time. Like, okay, maybe they needed to be yelled at, but you still waited to drop that nuke. You know? Why didn't you just cut ties with them? Are you the asshole, aren't you? Like, you hear stories where people are just treated like an absolute doormat. And then you see people like this fuckwit right here, who really, like you said, should have realized, but if he was in the situation to begin with, he has no self-awareness. Maybe he literally can't. Maybe this guy is mentally unaware of how people's brains work. But then you have the weird mix between the two. You know, my dad supports me, my mom doesn't. I see my sister's side to it. My boyfriend makes a lot of good points, but I still think to go through with this. You know, it's lots of different angles to work with. So sometimes Am I the Asshole is a really complicated mix. And that's what it makes for good drama. It's the human condition. Like the Cake Puncher story. There's no way you could look at this fuck and think that, oh, he's a victim. No, he's not. What you could say is he's a victim of the system. But then you look at the woman who was browbeaten all her life to support her family, including the morbidly obese, like he couldn't even walk, he needed to be wheelchaired and car lifted everywhere. A cousin who would just constantly shit himself and demand you clean him up. And she had to abandon a long-term relationship to look after him because otherwise the family would cut her out of their lives. And she eventually told him, "You can take care of it yourself," and left. And she hadn't heard the end of it. There are cases of like rape, and there are cases of like attempted rape, but there's also cases of like, why won't she love me? I keep sending her all her dead rats. Like, there's all these different stories. You know, sometimes you just gotta be petty. A-holes may deserve a little pettiness from the host. Well, Raisin, if that was the case, maybe you should start partaking in it a little bit more yourself. Because I know you see it, but sometimes wouldn't it be nice if you also were to break out the claws? Didn't you say you were on the warpath a few months ago? You should. And you know what? There's pettiness and then there's justice. Or at least understandable rage. Like, I wouldn't care if the age difference. He's over 18. I'd fucking break this kid's nose. It wouldn't get anything resolved, but it'd be vindicating. But I'd do it in a public place. While this video played.
Absolutely the most terrifying part of this story. I suspect these feelings are temporary and born out of confusion more than anything. Jesus fucking Christ, that's frightening. Dude, she fucking hates you. I see a stalker in this poor woman's future.
Yeah.
There was one time when Lucas Werner came up with the plan to stand on a jogging trail and ambush young women to try to talk to them.
Yep.
Of course, he didn't have the balls to do it, but imagine the audacity to even think it's a good idea.
Used to. I do want to. It hurts to hurt people. No. Well, maybe for you, but for me, sometimes it really is vindicating. Like, I've fucked people up physically and mentally who've deserved it, and it's been a mixed bag. There is such a thing as a genuine, like, yeah, you deserve that shit. I won't say who, but anyone who watched the stream would know. A little while ago, we had someone on who was not a sweet boy to one of the other guests, and not just me, but other people. We let them know. We let them know after the fact, and I don't have any regrets for that, except maybe bringing him on in the first place. But I didn't know. If I known, I wouldn't have brought it on. Like, some people need to be yelled at. Some people need to go, that's not cool, man. Hell, what happened to Milo on DP? What did Ben say? It sounds like you're saying you were glad that you were sexually assaulted by a priest. Well, yeah, it let me learn how to suck dick. There was a reason CNN quoted that shit. Ben could have shut his mouth. Paul didn't. Ben was diplomatic. Scotty kinda did. Not throwing shade at Scotty, I'm just thinking of it, like, but then, like, they all heard this fucking really bad takes. That's old news at this point now. He's gone through at least 2 different rebrandings, and they've all failed. But it's also the main thing when you go on the Wikipedia for Drunken Peasants. Like, not Drunken Peasants Wiki, but actual Wikipedia. That's the main thing that they'll be always known for. They destroyed Milo's career. They sure as fuck did. Well, actually, no, they didn't. He was so unaware, he fucked himself up. In his case, I honestly do feel a little bad for him. Clearly, he's got shit he's not resolved. But what do we always say here on this channel? Just because you're a victim doesn't mean you can't make other victims. Most victims in life end up hurting other people in some way. Very good at being upfront and... Oh, it's scary to me because I know I can burn bridges, and I have. It's actually why I'm not it's why I'm not this or that. But don't ever think that this gives you a moral right. You got to stand in the exact same light. That's sunlight setting over there, by the way, as everyone else. If you honestly turn around and say to somebody, "Hey, I think you're a hypocrite," don't be shocked if someone points at you later in life, or even that same day, and say, "Well, you say this person's a hypocrite. What about this?" You better be ready to defend yourself, other than, "Well, that's just different because," or acknowledge, that's true. You can't get around that. I also do have a moral compass. That has nothing to do with religion. There is just a sense of right and wrong. It's why I don't believe in a God, but also I think that, say, the guy on screen right here, Lucas. Lucas is, while mentally ill, also wrong. Like, he has a wrong way of thinking, a wrong way of like approaching any situation. He is a mentally ill person, but he is still scum and dangerous. He became famous nationwide in America because he attacked a girl at Starbucks because she wasn't interested in his approaches. Yes. Do not transform our pain. Exactly. I like that saying, I don't know who said it, that pain, you can, if you're wounded, was it, like, pain should be seen like a tree, and, a tree will carry its scar, but it will grow beyond it. War, financial, religious, sexual, a random act of violence or just a natural catastrophe, who the fuck do you blame for a hurricane? Global warming? Maybe. Probably. But do you just point at the Industrial Revolution as a person? No, you can't blame anyone for a hurricane. But there are people who have survived hurricanes who are probably in mental institutions right now. Like, kind of, anytime they hear, like, humidity thunder, they're like... You gotta overcome this shit. And you got to overcome this shit. Other people can give you context, but never trust somebody who's gonna do the whole work for you. Never forget, Sam only picked Frodo up when they got into Mordor. When he realized that Frodo was at his end and he couldn't go any further, but the task had to be performed. You know, I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. But you got to do this. No one can get over an addiction. No one can get over a horrific event, except for you. You got to grow past it. And some people do, and some people don't. And if you don't hurt anyone over it, except yourself, I'll feel sorry for you. But I understand. But if you then warp and transform that pain into something else, into a new love of religion, hell, atheists can do this too. The people who are like, oh, I was abused by the Catholic Church, so now I want to kill every priest. Okay, edgelord, McEdgelord, okay? No, it's like, I want all religion to die. I want it to die, though, in the sense of, like, all the priests just stop. They show up to an empty church. Very good. Hurt people hurt people. Not always. I'm a hurt person, and I try not to hurt other people. Now, here's one good thing I will say, though, about me. I've been asked this before. Who are you to be the moral high ground? And I just told them, I'm no one's moral high ground except for myself, just like you are for yours, and I find you wanting to me. Nothing hurts an egotist more than having them have their entire spiel given to you, and then you go, nah, you're not adding to me, buddy. Raisin's a dead grape. Yep. Heard it through the raisin vine.
Idea. Fuck my life. I hate it right now. I'm depressed. I feel like giving in and giving up. Anxiety kicks my ass every day. I've forced myself to be nice and kind for too long. Maybe it's time for the serious, mean, no fucks given Jason to come out.
You know what? I'm just gonna finish this with this. Then we'll get on with it. The one thing I am proud of myself. Life dealt me a shitty set of hands, but also some pretty cool ones. Give me a sort of like a 50, not even a 50-50. More like maybe a 35-75, you know? Any more, and I'd be like in a wheelchair, or I'd be, I don't know, prone to seizures. But people could still overcome those odds. I don't think I'd be able to overcome those odds. I don't think I'd be the same sort of person if I was born without the ability to walk, or I was blind, or whatever. It would affect my personality. It would affect every nuance of who I am. Big shock, it would affect everyone. But I will say this. Bar the time when I was an edgy teenager, and for half a year I was a genuine skinhead, until I realized this isn't who I am. I honestly, like, I've never channeled my shitty hand, my shitty life, into hurting other people. Now I'm on the warpath. I'm going after people who hurt other people. I'm basically like Deadpool, only without the incredibly tight waistline. My God, that man! You could hold Deadpool up like this. I've had the time of my life. The man is svelte. He is svelte. But like, I go after shitty people. I don't make it my life's journey, but if I see shit, I call it out, like you said there is, which is right. Like, and I can actually say I'm proud of that because I'm naturally inclined to do the opposite. But it literally makes my hackles raise. Like, I literally go like, okay, and I can be politic. I can be very politic, to a point. It's why a lot of our earlier guests don't come back. You don't see Finnball anymore, do you? We had Ezreal Crownguard on. Well, he's gone. And I wish them well in life. I hope they meet people they like. In theory. I hope they have their goals reached that don't hurt other people. But yeah, no, there's just people I meet and go like, no, I don't want to be around these fuckers. I would not want. That's why I got shocked at you there, Raisin, when you said you wanted to talk to G-Man. Like, have a genuine conversation with G-Man. And when I told Mango that, she was like, well, I have talked to G-Man. Like, he is legit like this. I don't doubt him. I don't doubt his conviction, if anything else. I doubt him as a good human being, a good human egg on this planet. And that's the great thing about atheism. We know that, well, we don't know, but we you know, there's a good chance that when you die, that's it. So that means this is it. This time, you get to be with who you want to be, and get to be who you love. You get to express what you want to express. And then these fuckers put a sign up saying, no, you can't do this because you. Fuck you. Get out of their way before I shove you aside. Like, these people have places to walk. There are people I will stand against too. Like, I'm going up against zoophiles and necrophiles and pedophiles, but like, a lot of files. But they don't count the same way I don't count like a serial killer to be a vigilante. Oh, that person who they just beheaded had unpaid parking tickets. They're doing society's work for it. Dead and Shriveled. I used to be a justice freak. It was exhausting. I would rather just help where I can and stay out of the mean folks' way. Stick my neck out for others, but not for myself. I could do that. I know they say they have talked to him. I want to sit at table, no camera. Yeah, I get it.
My kindness and patience will no longer be taken advantage of, because there won't be any to give. Fuck people. People suck. You can all suck
are
it.
People.
I'm don't playing the fucking
fuck
nice guy.
clouds, you know?
Be ready,
Some
because
have
you
rain
all
in
will
it.
not like what I'm about to become. It's all you people's fault. You are turning the nice guys into assholes that will run the world
You're all
one day.
making fun of me!
That is a lot of words to say when the nice guy loses his patience, the devil shivers. I wonder if me and no fucks given Jason could beat up Goku. This guy sounds like he's never not been an asshole. Gave it away himself. He is a liar.
Let's watch
Forces
something
himself to
fun
be
after
nice and that's
this.
our fault? And yet, for the modern women today, they absolutely
Modern
must go
women.
chasing after the bad boys and jump on the cock carousel. Because they think that they can change that behavior.
That's a great
Then they're
name
30.
for an all-female band. No, it could be all-female, but it could also just be like gay guys, trans girls who are like into cock, and cis women. The cock carousel. And it has to be some fucking trash metal, you know? We're talking about a garage band that you'd get in an illegal bar out in like fucking Toledo. You know, like, this is just someone's garage they converted.
Something and alone with cats because they're all used up and wondering where have all the good men
Someone
gone?
walks out with a
They
needle
friend
stuck
zone
in
them,
their
and it's only
arm.
the betas and simps that are just waiting for them to give them a side-eye glance in their direction, and they're so thirsty for any female attention that they'll dang near kill themselves to be that one that will get the glance. Meanwhile, the real men have moved on and won't even acknowledge their existence.
Won't
The wall
acknowledge
is
it, huh?
undefeated,
Then what's
and will
this?
ever be
What's the
so.
point of it?
The
What's
only
point
way
of it?
women can dodge the wall is to graduate high school,
The
get
wall.
married early, remain loyal, and willingly submit to your husband. Be feminine, not womanist. And above all, submit yourself to God.
Womanist, submissed, feminine, which they're obsessed with the concept of fem. What did I say earlier? It all comes back to this. This is what girls should be. Girls should be just pretty. They're not even people. Women aren't people in these guys' eyes. They're like these sub things. They're like half or quarter person. A third of a person. They're pretty pets that you can stick your dick into and make little soldiers to go marching off to give yourself a sense of like, I am man strong. I am important to community. White power good. Unga bunga. It's so fucking stupid. And they won't even acknowledge it half the time. They won't even fucking acknowledge it. Because they wrap it up with religion and morals and shit. It's a fetish. It's just a fucking fetish. And if they want the fetish, I know tons of women who want to be on their knees worshipping their man. In the bedroom. Outside of it, you listen to mommy. Okay? Like, we don't find it shocking that these multi-billionaire motherfuckers in, like, Japan and shit, they're, like, some of the most influential people in the world, but then they go to, like, a dominatrix who make them, like, drink their own piss while they're standing on top of them. We're not shocked by this. It's the power switch. It's a dynamic move. It can happen in the reverse too. Women can like that power play. Yeah, I'm not into that shit, but it happens. And I'm not shocked when it happens. I really don't like that shit. Like, ugh. Yeah, in a healthy way in other people who choose. Exactly, keyword choose. These fuckers think that that's the given, the natural state of things. And we've moved off the beaten track. Bull fucking shit. If we ever existed like that, it was because population numbers were so fucking low that a few people who just wanted to stay in power could dictate that you have to do it this way. When you have a township of majority men who all think this way, and you're days away from the next nearest town, you can't evolve past that town. So you gotta keep your head down, and you gotta obey. But then you look at like the papers of like the founding fathers and shit, and they all never saw it like that. They always saw it as like the woman had the final say. They did. Then why the hell did they pass the laws? They passed the laws to keep the women down. So that means the last thing that a sub ever could have in this world was like these anti like equality, the universal suffrage laws and the like. Which is probably what's happening in Islamic countries. It's probably why there are so many Muslim men who are obsessed with Western women. Because you wouldn't think that they would be ideal. But they want these sort of like super bimbified OnlyFans girls, show bobs and vagines. Because their women are basically brought in on a crane like a dry cleaner's with their fucking hijabs. Also, their women are people. you can fantasize and fetishize. Like these fuckers, these white fuckers here, who are obsessed with Asian women being submissive. You go to the streets of Tokyo and you ask them, do you have a kid? They're all going to say no because they want to focus more on their jobs. Keyword, going back to it, choice. Choice is the heart of a democracy. And if you want to throw it away, that is also the hypocritical side of it. If I turned around and said, no, you shouldn't be able to throw it away. Well, unfortunately, you can sometimes. If that's what the people want. But you shouldn't. You shouldn't, by its very definition. It's self-defeating. Look at Hitler. But if you want to go down that path, you can. But like, if you want to go and say, hey, women have the rights that men do. In fact, they need probably a little bit extra rights because their bodies, if we're talking about solely cis women, do things that other men can't. And even if you identify as female, a female identifying person, a feminine person, you're more inclined by default to be under threat. From fuckwits like this.
All others.
Tangent over.
I guess the submissive thing is a theme that I'm running into today. How can you call yourself a good guy while also calling women in their 30s used up? They're so ignorant they don't see how disgusting and gross they're actually behaving, and delude themselves into thinking they're actually good people.
It's such a fact.
Also, what's wrong with having cats? I never understood why they make it like it's a negative thing for a woman in her 30s to own cats. Okay, let's read one more post. Context. Waitress friend and a regular. 25 female and 69 male. Nice.
What?
Prior to this, he had brought her gifts for her birthday. Why were you so cold toward me at breakfast this morning? It was almost as if you didn't even want to speak to me. I do not understand it one bit. I am done with the flowers and the gifts, because nice guys finish in last place. I have experienced that so many times that I can't even count. Wow, this guy is beyond delusional. I am going to another blank restaurant, and you never have to worry about ever seeing me again. I really feel sorry for your generation, because you are in big trouble, little. Do you realize that? Your generation is the downfall of this society in the United States of America. I don't think you realize it at all.
Because it's probably not the downfall of America. This. Raisin, this is exactly... this was tweeted out a couple of weeks ago. And it's, well, 27th, so... yeah, kinda. This. They are just obsessed. Yeah, this is what they're obsessed over. They just don't want to admit it's a fetish. Which is weird because the women admit it's a fetish. They want to be the big boobed, breedable bitch taking care of the home. Well, they're burly, big, strong man, most likely in an open shirt, open plaid shirt. Is like coming back from like the fucking sawmill or something like that, you know? Hail there, wife! I bring victuals. I shall prepare the pot. You shall prepare something else, wife. That's fine if it's what you want to do. Just admit it. You don't need to add morals or laws. You don't need this Handmaiden Tale shit. Case in point, after that show came out, the porn for Handmaiden's Tale skyrocketed. Big booba in open, big boobas. Well, in her case, it's a sundress. In his case, he'd be, for her case, she acknowledges it is just a fetish. Like, he'd be this burly motherfucker with, like, just a plaid shirt open. Probably an axe over his shoulder. And maybe, like, I don't know, a bag of food. Which, yeah, he is a provider. I've been the stereotype and quite happy doing it. I don't ever want the choice to find me. Right. Imagine if you were with a person who just didn't want you to have interests outside of the family, outside of the home. No friends. That's usually how they start. They isolate you from your friends. Now, other people can do that too, but they're always controlling. Your friends will be the friends that they approve of, assuming they even want you to have friends. Like, the barefoot and pregnant people, it's a fetish. It's a fetish. Like, that's all it is. I'm a dom. I've got a breeding kink. I've never denied these things. I've told them publicly on stream before. But it's a kink! That's why I always fucking show solidarity to any time a woman wants to, like, a women's group want to, like, promote shit. It's why I supported Roe v. Wade. My move me state went first. Yeah. These fuckers would be a lot happier if they just have her brain. Raisin is Raisin because of her brain. Otherwise, she's just a body. A nice body. But not a person. I want to get with people. Well, those are the nuances. But this is the whole gist of it, right? This is kind of like the whole focus of the goddamn thing. This. Sure. Because we are dumb apes. We just want to procreate. Once there's enough food and there's no predators, we just procreate. That's it. That's what our biological center tells us. We rise past it. But if these fuckers just acknowledged it and took out the fucking anger issue, there would be tons of women, most likely in or around their periods, sliding into their DMs, going, "Daddy, it might be a good time." I don't know. Every time I've ever talked to a woman who's been that submissive, I don't know if they've called me daddy. Only had a brain and only I had a brain. You got a fine brain. It's the Billy brain.
I was nice to you, and you treated me like a piece of shit. I am turd of being used by people like you and your generation, which is so fucked up. It's beyond repair. I hope you realize that. Your ex-fiance is a lot better.
Is porn big boobs with baby faces? Yeah, that's a no from me, dog. Remember what I said earlier about the fetishes that hit certain levels? That's pretty high in the red. Nah. As my ma used to say, there's nothing stranger than folk. We are the weirdest things on this planet. Everything else falls into nature. If this is human nature, we've somehow made it a counterproductive thing. The weirdest thing an ape can do, like say a chimp, is that they'll play with a rock for a bit. You know? What do? You won't last 30 seconds playing this game. Fuck your sister here at... You know, like... That's another thing, the whole incest angle. That again has to do with, like, a sense of power and a sense of, like, they're so inept. Just look up the hentai mangas of, like, anything that has incest in it. They're all dudes who are, like, pathetic and they can't, like, find a girlfriend, and then, like, don't worry, mommy will protect you. And I've met women who want to be mommies. That's going into a woman being a dom. Just own up to it. The world will be so much much better. God, I'm spanking it to pitch perfect. No! 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 That's a bad thing. So we're on the same wavelength. Length. How old was he? These look like girls who... You know what the weird thing is? When I was in high school, the girls weren't mean to me. They teased me. Which, like, I've told that's part of it. But they teased me, but, like, they were never bitches to me. They were always very nice. Later turns out that my first crush in high school actually for a little while had it back to me, and she was just waiting for me to say hi, because she thought that's what a guy did. A guy see, that's what you if you tell your kids these things, they're gonna believe it for a little while, and some take it to heart way longer. You'd be like if people, like as adults, still believed in Santa, right? And then instead of being like told, no, there's no Santa, they just like double down. Yeah, I did mention their ages to him, which raised an eyebrow. Only like to while away the hours, conferring the flowers, and that's not a fetish. Older than me, this was in 2016. Right. I'm sure now they all look different. Because they've all grown up. It's not really the point, is it? It's like Melissa Williams. That was always a red flag. Whenever you saw people going like, wow, Arya Stark is so hot. She's fucking 14. What the hell? By the end of it, she was like all growing up. When she had, spoiler for the last season of Game of Thrones, when she had her one and only nude scene, one and only sex scene. I honestly felt uneasy at that because to me she'll always be a little kid. You know? It's kind of hard for me to move past it. So I didn't feel like comfortable seeing her stripped down. Plus, even if she was like 18 or 19, okay, so she's legal. There's a reason I swipe anyone who's 10 years younger than me away on Tinder.
Off without you.
Give
That
me
is
a
for
woman,
sure.
not a girl.
You say I appreciate you, and what you actually mean is the generous tips I give you all the time. You must think I'm stupid, that I was born yesterday. No, I'm pretty sure she's acutely aware of how old you are, friend. You can take your birthday gifts and stick them up your ass as far as they will go. You will never ever get a tip from me again. You will never ever see me again. And I hope the United States of America blows your homeland country of China off the face of the fucking earth. Fuck you, you stupid fucking bitch. You are nothing but a user and a con artist, and don't even apply for the job with the blank department. Well, no matter what you're ashamed of in your life, at least you didn't send that series of texts to a waitress who's 40 years younger than you. Very painful. Anyway, that's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please give it a like.
Yeah, give him a like. I've talked to Walter a little while ago, and he said in theory he's down, but he just doesn't know when. I will say, as I get older, I look at like pictures of like the nice guys here, and they look almost quaint in comparison to what came after. These guys were edgy as fuck. Edgy with giant quotations. Cringy, more like it. But they, like, as far as I could tell at least, they weren't fucking walking down a street with tiki torches, right? Me. Alright. Let's watch something more positive. Let me think of something more positive. What could we watch? Preferably not food. And like I said, I don't want to watch her stuff. Prune sausage? Okay, if he has another one. No. Oh. Alright. Alright. Because Raisin, you're in the chat, the Scoville sausage.
What hand?
Because you know your almighty sauces. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, you better have liked, shared, and subscribed it. But beyond that, we have ourselves a stream goal, and this much left of the rum, which is... I'll pour the shot now, just prepare it. Oh!
The body
well,
is
I have to
round.
redo this. Fuck me.
Lev rules.
Thank you. I do rule my life, and it took me years to control it. I appreciate that you acknowledge that I could be a lot worse. Self-love, ladies and gentlemen. If you go down the black pill, red pill, not red pill, but, well, yeah, I suppose red pill, unironically. Incel, alpha, giga chads sort of shit, the Andrew Tates, pickup artists, tiki torches, white nationalists, actually any real sort of like ethno-nationalist shit. Tanky, whatever. If you're going down there, you better be figuring shit out because you're a teenager. Because I'll have no respect for you otherwise. Well, not even respect, but I'll have no hope for you otherwise. If you're in your 30s and 40s, you know, you should know better. But at the core of it, start with some self-love. Praise yourself for your deeds done. Don't become a jackass about it. Sausage! I really wish I could transfer the currency into euros, see how much it is. $8. Shots, Nick Fuentes. Shots to Nick. What, you want to watch some Nick fucking Fuentes? I'm okay so long as it's like a clip of him doing something fucking retardosia. Yeah, Nick Fuentes is a great example of that. Like, he was born from that edgy era, and he just made it worse. Like, Nick is a great example of... Never forget, he was in the... they showed him on the January 6 hearings on the wall. He is... on the plus side, he is also losing, like, a lot of subscribers, a lot of, like, respect from the extreme far right. Not because he doesn't go far enough, but because he's clearly in the closet. Now, a lot of them are in the closet, and I think the people who say that, like, they're all in the closet, no, that's just kind of... That's the opposite, that's the exact opposite of people who are, like, far-right saying, they're all Jews! No, there isn't. Well, that one's a Jew, and then it points to Ben Shapiro. And yes, I did say it for a white nationalist or a right winger. Alcohol's doing its job, folks. No. What did I say? Never mix alcohol and politics? Fuck that shit. I wouldn't have a channel if I did that. But no, love yourself, you know. Like, don't beat yourself up too much. Acknowledge what you did wrong, and if you need to, apologize. Really apologize. Don't have some immediate response. Think about why you need to apologize. And if you need to, you gotta sit there and listen to their tirade. That might be a part of their healing process. Or maybe they don't want anything to do with you. So many people don't want anything to do with anyone. I'm actually gonna quickly go and close the blind and turn on the lights. So, give me a second. I am currently wearing some very short boxers, so I am just going to quickly turn on this show starting soon. Alright, there we are. A little better. Sausage! This is the internet we all need to watch. 'Cause if Ordinary Sausage did not love himself, would he not give up years ago and no longer sausage it up? You know what? I think another $5 will get us 13. And then we can move on to that Sweet Boy in the Sky 3. And then that actually is it for the entirety of the mainline games. It's just Song of Paradise, what do you call that one there? Crisis Core, and yeah, never trust a YouTuber that or a streamer that apologizes with a dog in shot, you know? I'm sorry that you felt bad.
Folks, and welcome back, I guess, to another episode of Let's Make a Sausage. And today I got a real treat for you because we're using Dave's Insanity sauce to spice our sausage. I've heard legends of this thing. I don't know, it doesn't smell too spicy. That's too spicy. The Malort actually tastes kind of refreshing compared to the spice level on this thing. Well, I can tell that this sausage is already a mistake. So that my cats don't sneeze for the next couple of days, we're gonna make this sausage and we're gonna smoke it outside where it belongs. I really don't think we're gonna need too much of this stuff in order to make, you know, a really spicy sausage. It should go a lot better than our Tabasco sausage. Let's get to the sausaging. Oh, it's still recording. Well, of course, the first thing we gotta do is, you know, ground up the meat. We're using...
I like how he has backup sausage stations around the house. You think his kid's room just has like a grinder in it? No, that's not a toy. I need it just in case the other 5 grinders break.
Not so frozen pork to give our grinder a little bit of a rest here. Oh, I think it's a little too unfrozen. Oh my god!
No.
Alright, we're gonna see if we can clean up some of this mess with an ice block.
After all these years, you'd think he'd know.
And of course, the ice was too much for it.
Yeah.
In terms of bad starts, this is one of them. It's very rare to have a ruined sausage before you even put the secret ingredient in. I guess the meat's not too mangled.
Oh yeah, because sausage meat texture is
Alright,
important.
that should be plenty. And of course, we can't forget our friends Mr. Salt and Senora Pepper.
Oh yeah, you need pepper when you're putting all that hot sauce in it. Fuck's sake. Otherwise, it'll have no tang to it.
It's already inflamed. Oh, that's an angry color. Shout! 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 Shout at the sausage! Of course,
Whoa.
even the most seasoned hot sauce aficionados will tell you that you don't have to worry so much about taking in the hot sauce. The real battle comes from the hot sauce exiting you.
Yes. As we all know why I had to end the shot for hot sauce. Yeah, the donos for hot sauce shot stream. I remember how fun it was. $20 donation, and then grumble, 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 grumble. I'll see you later, guys. Because the flavor itself was not that bad. It was Frank's, I think. I was doing shots of Frank's. I got like a couple of them, but at the end of it, I got 2 things of Frank's because I needed 5 bottles of hot sauce. And it was a disaster. Well, yeah, because you've built up a tolerance to this. Question, when you were, like, much younger, it must have hit you much harder, right? Or at least you remember it to be a little more spicier. Back in my day, spices were a lot more spicier. I don't think that might be true. I think that might be, like...
I think that's just the remainder of the ice, to be honest with you. In 3, 2, 1. It's gonna hurt when I poop, but also lit sausage.
I want to watch Sir Steve-O after this. Got a bit of Irish into you.
The perfect amount of casing, kid, strikes again. Oh, I can already tell you this Will It Blow's gonna suck. With special thanks to today's Mark Boxalo box artist, this guy! Spot the odd one out. Oh gee, I wonder who it could be. This guy with the
I'm
watermark.
literally about to
This
watch
huge
that,
mistake
really?
is brought to you by Hello.
Nope, I was freak even as a kid. Solid. Apparently birds can't taste that either. They can't taste hot sauce, so they can't taste spice. You know the weird thing is, spice is made by a plant in an attempt to keep predators away. That's, ironically enough, what draws us to it. I know I'm still kind of a novice in getting spicy food. I remember trying some of your meal at that bar upstairs, Raisin, when we were all sitting down having a meal, and it was like, it was so spicy to me that I completely forgot, because you were like, "Do you want to try some?" And I was like, "Well, I'll try some." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I'd try some of mine. You were like, "Oh, it was nice." And then I forget what meal it was. Was it a carbonara? But I remember trying it and thinking like, "Oh yeah, it's alright." Or was it a Philly cheesesteak? It was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a cheesesteak. And it was just like, "Hi, shove the concept of spice into your tongue." And you were like, "Yeah, it's alright." I was like, "Bleh." Yeah, right? To me, there was no joy there, at least in the first time around. I've always been more of a savory person, a sort of a mellow person. Zest. I prefer a barbecue sauce over a hot sauce. I've got some hot sauce in there. It's Carolina Reaper. It's being extracted. I don't know what the Scoville units are. And these days, the Scoville units can be very easily altered, just to make them seem like they're extreme. But I've come a long way from pepper just making me go. And yeah, I used to be like that. Ooh, I know what we can watch next. And I'm going to quickly turn the screen off so I won't spoil it. It's an old one, but it's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah, this is it.
Earlier.
No spoil. No spoil. No spoil. Even though you can see it at the top there. They asked them to bring the hottest choice they had. I don't like barbecue or ketchup. Yellow mustard? And yet you love English food and you don't like yellow mustard. They're proud of themselves that their mustard is yellow. Mustard is yellow. Damn right it is. Wasabi is very dangerous because when you look at it, you don't think it can be that bad because it goes with such usually a very mellowed, soft taste of like sushi. So you have like, you dip a little bit of your sushi roll into the wasabi and you're like,
This month we showed you a clip of Shaquille O'Neal attempting to eat a...
No, that's not... Where's the clip? I want to play.
Fresh. Summer is finally here. And with great bratwurst sliced up into their 4-fresh box. HelloFresh.com. Code Sausage16. for 16 free meals plus free shipping. So will it blow?
Coleman's.
Oh my! Well, that's an interesting will it blow. Not much splatter, but just because of the positioning of it, I'm gonna have to give that will it blow 3 Mark Ruffalos.
Mark Ruffalo approves of the phallic symbol in his mouth. What can I say?
5 generously sized sausages.
That's alright.
Well, okay, the smoker's primed
If you
and
saw
ready
them
to
in a
go.
little plastic pack
Let's smoke some
For
sausages.
$2.50, you'd get a good deal. You bit into them. Well, most people would. You, Raisin.
Halfway done.
Oh, that smoker.
They're done. Well, they look good. They smell
Dijon
good.
is good.
Let's open one up and see how
The
we did.
seeds, yeah.
It looks
Texture
spicy.
for me,
What do you
so-
say we make this sausage official by
Grind the
tasting it at the
grind the
tasting
seeds down.
table? Here we go! Oh my god.
Yes!
It's so incredibly spicy. Why didn't I bring the water down here? That is one super spicy sausage. We didn't even use that much. Look, that's all we used. There's still like an entire bottle here. It's way too hot for me. That level of spiciness should be a crime. It tastes like smoke and poison. I can't
body is
handle it.
round.
It's too spicy.
3 shots. 1 for me. 1 for Lev. And 1 puff for Raisin Girl lol.
I would have considered it, but I don't think there's 3 shots left in this. We can move on. I can pour like an actual shot. No, there's barely a shot. Yeah. Dijon. Wap, 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 wap. I'm gonna start adding my normal booze to it. 3 shots. Fine. We are really close actually now to getting Final Fantasy 13. Jesus Christ. Probably another £3 ought to do it. The reason I bring that up is because they have to worry about the exchange. If it was exchanged into dollars, that'd be cool, but it's not. So, bunch of hot sauce and that shit. Yes! And do you know what happened afterwards? I exploded in that bathroom. No matter what context it is, I fucking exploded. If you're talking about the noodle one, hell yeah. Some really nice noodles I passed by today. They're all pre-packaged shit, but I want to try it. There's actually a tasting video coming up pretty soon. Probably next month. That last one, though. That last one, I'm putting over here. I know you said 3, but we never agreed to that. It's per dono. $1 or 100. That last one goes there. Reason being, I don't like it either, but 13 has to be dealt with. At this point now, the band-aid is already mostly off, but there's a little hair that's clinging onto it. Let's get it out of the fucking way. Anyway, let's see. Not you, Lev. Oh, the sausage dude. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, he did put a good chunk to it. For embracing... I'm not embracing, but it has to happen. Alright? We're fucking adults, and adults gotta do things that they don't like. This ties into what I was saying earlier about, you know, grown-up people gotta take their lumps. My lump in all this is not gonna be some obscure, crappy graphics from the early 2000s, or like the mid-90s even. Final Fantasy. It's going to be Final Fantasy 13. Sarah! Van with... Oh, is it Van? Or Vast? The black dude with the afro. The blonde girl who's not Penelo, who clings on to him at all times, and it gets really fucking weird. Hope! The most annoying motherfucker in the fucking world. Hope! I'll never be good as my mom. Mom always said I need to be strong. And Lightning's like, dude, grow a fucking pair before I lob your head off. Credit where it's due. I think Lightning is too cool for that game. Oh, and Fang, who is just kind of hot. Hey, for reference. Hell yeah. And she's got an aggressive Australian or even New Zealand accent. She's not even a tomboy. She's too feminine for that. She's very confident and adult. She reminds me a lot of Auron. If you want maybe like a female equivalent of Auron from Final Fantasy X, another character who's so badass because he has to make up for the rest of the fucking game. And both fail to do it, but they give it their fucking best, goddammit. Remember what I said to Krendar? Like, what do you think? Which character set do you think is worse, 10 or 13? And he immediately said, oh, 13 without a doubt. Well, I think it's because he hasn't gone back and played 10 in years. Which is fair. Who the fuck goes back and plays 10? I don't know. Why don't you subscribe over on Low Energy Videos on Twitch and find out? Because after we're done here, we're going to go for watch party for people who have subscribed. Why am I talking into this bottle? Because I'm done drunk. That's why. And I love you. Fuck sickos. Fuck sickos, tubes. But, yeah, look at that. That's a fucking woman. You're on holidays. You're having a shit time. The weather's lovely. No one's been outright good to you, bad to you. But you're just kind of vibing at the pool. And then in the evening time, you're at the hotel bar. You're looking at your phone, kind of just, like, occasionally talking to the barman. Maybe striking up a conversation for someone that you met on the bus coming into the resort. And then you see a pint being put down in front of you by the barman. You're like, I didn't order this. And like, it's from her across the way. Turn around, fucking Fang. Drinking the same amount. The same, like, including all the empties in front of her. I'm not a switch. But we all got our limits. And yet, she doesn't save the game. The combat is boring and repetitive. And this is coming from a guy who has been grinding in the Sunken Glenka for fucking days now on Final Fantasy VII. Sephiroth will be killed in like 2 hits by the time we go to it next. Oh shit! I actually forgot. By the way, guys, I'm not going to play the next Final Fantasy stream on Twitch It's going to be on YouTube. It'll be this week coming. I don't know when. Might be it'll be Wednesday actually, now thinking of it, because I'm not drinking next week. So it's a great opportunity. I'll get myself some coffee or something like that, and we'll sit down, and my character will be max stats out, and I will, because there's not going to be enough for a full stream, like a full 3-hour, 2-hour stream, you know. How big of a donut would it take to completely skip 13? Honestly, you've paid for like the vast majority. You and the rest of the other people have paid for the vast majority of it. Let me think. If we can get to the equivalent of the Songs of Paradise, which is 30, then and no one has to donate a 30 or anything like that. We're already a good chunk there as it is. Let me see. Today we raised... Oh shit, I actually think we can already get 13. No. No. We're like Bible versers, okay? Wait, wait, let's be sure. Oh god, yeah. No, we've actually got enough for 13 now. So, it's a moot point. Should have asked me that last week, man. Should have DM'd me and be like, dude, I really don't want you to play 13. And I'm like, I don't really want to play all that much of 13 either, but here we are. When I said I wanted to play the complete collection, I kind of meant it, frankly. I'm literally buying 13 right now. Yep. Here it is. It is €13. Makes sense. Purchase. PayPal. Agree. Purchase. And it's done. There. The band-aid's ripped off, you big fucking babies. It's over. I don't love the concepts either, but here we is. Here we is. Like, now, you don't have to worry about any money being tossed in on top of it. Because it's not going to go to 13 anymore. It's going to go to 3, actually. Final Fantasy 3, which the next... By the way, it might be 13, but it's still worth saying. Thank you fucking so much. You guys are awesome. Like, there are thousands and thousands of streamers. Millions at this point, honestly. And... wow! This is a 60 gig game. Can you believe that? Well, I won't be downloading that on this stream. But yeah, thank you so much for the money, just in general. Like, anytime I get donated, I'm like, oh my god, that's so nice of you. I don't do this for cash. I do this because you guys are fucking nice to talk to. It's good to have conversations. It's good to have feedback.
The body is round.
GG13 is not the worst game to have ever existed lol.
GG? I mean, is that Guilty Gear? Oh, that's a thing. Thank you so much for the $3. That's now heading off to Final Fantasy 3 now. That's the next one. Which was, by the way, the whole point of me saying this. And I owe you a shot now. Actually, I owe you 2 shots, don't I? No, my bad. I conflated the Final Fantasy 3. Also, when I get Final Fantasy 3, I'll get access to all these crazy skins and wallpaper and shit. 18. So that one's actually quite expensive for what you're getting. I don't remember much about 3. Like, no one really talks about 3. I know, but it's done. Final Fantasy 13 is not the worst game to ever. No, it's not. It's a massive disappointment. A huge disappointment, in fact. But it is still a Final Fantasy game. And you have to take it all, the good and the bad. And it's going to be bad. That's why I will grind off stream with podcasts in big open areas where I can kind of just zone out what I'm playing. I'll get into a routine. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I did it with Final Fantasy 7. I can do it with this. But that now helps towards our goal for Final Fantasy 3. After that, all we need is Songs of Paradise and Crisis Core. Crisis Core is 50, Songs of Paradise is 30, and so 100. You need $100 more. And we have the rest of the year to raise that $100. There is no rush. After that, if you're wondering about the Final Fantasy VII Remake, I will indeed go and give you guys the Final Fantasy VII Remake for sure. But that will be a separate stream because it's fucking 80. So I want to get that when it's on sale for obvious reasons. It'll obviously drop in price as the years go on. Pretty well hope so. Billy, making fantasy reality. There's no final part here with Billy, that's for sure. Oh yeah, a shot. But like I said, at least you get some fucking Fang in your near future, right? Like, look at her. Is she not? Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she wonderful? No, but she's kind of hot. And she knows what she wants, which makes her even hotter. She kind of reminds me of the, I think the same voice actress too, in the first Dead Island, the Hawaiian girl who was like the bodyguard. She was like the tank of the group. Well, you are. She's right there. You are 100 compared to all the times where she's wrong. But yeah.
For me, I'm just gonna have to go ahead and give this sausage here like a 2 out of 5.
Bop, 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 bop.
Spot the odd one out. Yeah. You normal ordinary instead of ordinary sausage, because that's ordinary sausage, dude. When he goes like ordinary, he looks like somebody who solely exists in the background of like a hockey game in the crowd, or maybe a like a baseball game. Like if you're at a stadium, he's gonna be there. Yeah, I kind of just exist in a stadium at this point now. It's very telling. I'm like the terminal, but with you know, Ticketmaster. It's so hard not to become Mickey Mouse with this motherfucker. Yeah, no, this is the one I want to watch. Raisin. You've probably seen this one already a few times, but this makes me think of you.
Ridiculously hot tortilla chip without breaking a sweat.
Little did we know that clip would lead to something here on CBS 3. Take a look at the clip, and then we'll explain.
Without making a face. Don't water yet. Don't water yet, brother.
It's nothing to me.
I'm
not making a face, though. I'm just coughing. I'm not making a face.
We should try that here one morning, see how that goes.
Jim, you know I'm Ethiopian, so I've been eating hot pepper since I was a baby.
And I like everything bland.
So,
I have no
you
time.
know how that's gonna go. Oh, that's
Nothing about you, sir, would have declared you as bland. I mean, you're obviously gay, but like even your gay sex is probably like just the equivalent of missionaries. It's just doggy style. It's like. Well done.
Well, you heard us here.
Yes, you heard Jim. He said we should try it. I didn't say it, but I did claim that I could handle the challenge because, you know, Jim wasn't so sure. So look what we have here. The Packy Carolina Reaper chip made with the hottest pepper on earth, and there are actual
Raisin,
warning
is this
signs
the one
printed on the
that
back
you
of the box.
use?
So.
Clips are all over the internet showing people taking the one chip challenge.
Try to move this in a little closer, see if it helps. The whole sparkly thing. Which one did you and your man meet there? When you were streaming and he kind of like coughed up a lung and like looked like he was dying. Was it this version or was it another one?
Had many fails. Any bets on how Rahel and I would do? Take a look.
Take a look.
Oh, God.
Oh, I like.
I didn't say I was a daddy. A daddy always takes care. So I hate to say it, but goddamn subs, you're so easy sometimes. I've heard an argument from Vosh, and I think Keffels too, that all subs are just lazy.
You all right there, buddy? You okay? You need some water?
You're not going to win. Do you want
Wow,
to wipe?
finger licking good. Yeah, that was great. Jim, there's no shame. Turn around.
It's tasty.
A little aftertaste kind of hit you. No sweat.
No,
Oh, God.
couldn't be
I
this
swallowed the rest of it.
There is milk there. Can we get a close-up on his eyes?
Oh, my God.
I should also say, to be fair, Jim.
Did she eat this? Oh, my God,
Yes.
you did.
I'm Ethiopian.
She has to twist the knife to show who wears the pants in the studio, you know?
My family is African, so I've been eating hot sauce since I was a baby.
This isn't affecting you.
Did you see the dirty look you just gave me? Jim, it's okay. There's no shame. Oh, but
It's affecting you.
well, I'm fine. It's just, it's spicy. It's hot. You can just give up now and drink some milk. You're literally
Aggressively stamp your feet, put your hands over your chest and do that anime. All I have to respond to that, by the way, is just put my hand on your head and pat it a few times. I know. You're a good raisin.
Sweating,
Will
Jim.
you stop talking?
Okay.
I'll stop. I'm drunk.
Can we get a medic in here for Jim?
Or at least tipsification. Yeah, she's going through shit.
This is dedication. I was actually looking forward to this. Kind of excited. Jim did it for the job.
I'm a fucking moron. I'm sorry.
How long have we been doing this for?
I owe someone a shot. Subby Baka. No. Swallow. It's scary where the shots get easier to down.
3 minutes.
And it's starting to subside. It's actually starting to get less intense. So do you think I'll get on this wall of infamy? What do I need to do to...
Makes my soda work harder. Oh, keyword there is harder, huh? You remind me of this photo shoot that I saw a while back of this very, she's not like a little person. She's like just a little few inches higher, and she does like cosplay. Her and this leggy brunette are in bunny outfits in like their bedrooms, and they're like taking a picture together, and she's like all sexy and sultry, and she's like, So you remind me of her right now.
Let them know that I beat this thing. I am triumphant. Jim?
Uh-huh.
Are we okay, buddy?
Uh-huh. My lips are on fire. This is not affecting you at all?
At first, initially, oh yeah, like my nose was like a little runny. But I'm okay now. So you know how I've been training for my marathon for a year?
I'm sick of hearing about your marathon.
Yeah. Well, I've been training for about a year. I have been training for this moment all my life. I have been eating pepper since I was a baby. It's
Make
true.
it stop.
You look good though, Jim. Sort of glistening, basking, shimmering.
Oh,
all right.
shit.
So can you just say that I won?
You didn't win.
He didn't drink the milk,
Have a
but
drink.
I clearly won.
What?
You let us know what you think.
No. Oh my God, I think I'm having a heart attack. All right, I can't. I'm gonna. Oh my God, I think I'm doing damage to my digestive system.
You will feel that later, buddy. Oh dear. It sounds like, Raisin, you may have seen this video clip before. It's 5 years old, so.
Oh no. No, I think our producers did let you off the hook there, Jim, when you had the milk.
Well, I was told I had to make it past the 5-minute mark, and I made it to 6 minutes. The things that I do for this job. Now, I looked it up this morning. The Carolina Reaper pepper is 600 times hotter than a jalapeno. This was no joke. If you're thinking about taking the one-chip challenge, know what you're getting into. I broke into a heavy sweat, had tears running down my face. I have no idea what...
No joke there either. If you got, like, for example, a bad heart, don't do shit like this. It might end pretty badly for you. He probably is. He should have just taken the milk if he needed it. Yeah, like he was in a bad place.
The body is round.
$3 due.
6 o'clock this morning. I was just waking up from a dream. I was kissing Raisin Girl by a clear blue Italian stream.
Dear God, Betty Boy Blue. I don't know if you're trying to seduce her or me, but it's fucking working. Because I just want to keep getting drunk around you. You're very good with your poetry, good sir. Thank you so much for the $3 donation. At this rate, we'll probably have Final Fantasy 3 in the bag in the next few days. As you can tell, I actually think I need to reschedule all my games. I think I need to just blast massive streams like Final Fantasy 7, you know, where I have to just mill them one after another, Because I've run out of days. So I'm going to have to double them up. But JRPGs aren't easily beat, you know? Anyway, Reaper. My gut's reminding me I haven't eaten it in many hours. Had a really nice breakfast, but then I went straight to sleep. Oh, but it's in there. When I get up to pee, I'll also grab it. Well, we're wrapping up in the next half hour, give or take. Make it a nice 3-hour stream. With the other one, that makes 4 hours. No one can bitch that we didn't give them content. You know? Because I don't want people to turn around and say, "Oh, you're keeping shit behind a paywall." Well, you know what? To a degree, they're right. I am keeping shit behind a paywall. But that doesn't mean you can't get shit too. I can do both. I can give all the freebies in the world and then retreat to my private, rarefied ivory tower atmosphere. But if you can throw 3 to 5 quid my way in terms of a donation, then you can throw 3 to 5 quid to Twitch and become a subscriber, where you can also access the emotes. Plus, sometimes people give gift donations, which, again, is so fucking insane to me that people will do these things for me. I know people's finances vary. Mine are pretty poor. I wonder why. But yeah. You never used them on Monday. Alright.
Planet you're from?
Babish. I want some... If we're gonna do more food, it needs to be Babish. Because he's very comfy. Legend of Zelda, 2 weeks ago. Jacuzzi Chicken, the Rib Witch remake. Basic with pasta salad. Stardew Valley, Squig Ink Ravioli. Not seen Spider-Man, so I don't want that. Kimchi's Cottage, nah. Succession, not seen it. But this I do know it.
This episode
is from Stardew Valley.
I do say so myself. Get 10% off your first Squarespace order by visiting squarespace.com/babish.
Look how clean everyone makes their gardens. I make mine so goddamn cheap and basic. It's a metaphor for my channel. Bitch about paying money for Pepsi? Pepsi keeps their cans behind a paywall? What? You're gonna have to explain this one to me, because if Raisin's response is any indication, I guess I'm out of the loop. Why? Do they raise their can prices, like, artificially? Based on what, like, aluminium and shit like that?
Hello there.
one of the few games I still have constantly installed right there next to Dungeon Keeper. I've never beaten Stardew Valley. I don't ever think I will. It's just something I like to play in bursts and then just forget about it and then create a new character 2 months later.
Welcome back to another episode of Arcade with Alvin. Today we're going to be taking a look at Stardew Valley, in particular its squid ink ravioli dish, which in the game is made with 3 things: squid ink, tomato, and wheat. Not a real recipe, so we will try to do a little bit better. This is cuttlefish ink. We've got this at the store. It is very dark and very thick. One thing that ravioli probably needs is dough. To get a pitch black dough going, we're going to combine 300 grams of all-purpose flour, 50 grams of semolina flour, and dump that onto the board, into which we're going to indent a little cave using...
I know myself well enough. We've only got about 20 minutes, coming close to a half hour now, actually. No more shots. At least to the last 10 minutes of the show. If I owe you it, I'll either owe you it for the last 10 minutes of the show or the next time. Or if you're a part of our watch party, I'll do it in front of you guys then and there to prove I am a man of my word. But I've hit my shot wall. This is why I'm a beer man. This shit might be the cheapest and most easiest way to get drunk. Especially if you've got like the club card up in Tesco's. But you know what? Nah. This is not my natural state of drunkenness. Though I will say, being spirit drunk is a lot better to wander around and vibe than beer drunk, which is a lot heavier. To me anyway. You guys might have different effects. Those are just as valid. Captain Jeffrey. What the weird thing about Captain Morgan is when I look at him? He honestly looks so fit and so like well maintained that he probably doesn't drink in real life. Like he'd be the type of guy who would like not have toxins enter his body, you know? I'm Jeffrey, no wait, Morgan. Yeah. Oh, Captain Cook is the knockoff shit that I talked about a couple of times on stream. I don't think I've ever shown you guys a bottle of it. And yes, so is Sailor Jerry's. It's another knockoff. Captain Cook rum. How could we get the license for Captain Morgan's without paying for the license? How about we have a knockoff version? It's why they don't have Frosties, but they have like Frostified flakes in Lidl or something like that. This shit right here is in theory. No, okay, don't you dare put that noise on me ever again. That was insulting and a little bit homophobic, and I don't appreciate that. So, it's this, but it's just worse. Maybe they add too much sugar to it, but my God, it is just... Yeah, yes, I've had Admiral Nelson. You can get that over here. Let me bring it up. By the way, a lot of the English sailors in like the 17th and 18th century would have been outraged at the low proof of a rum with a name like Admiral Nelson's or Captain Cook's. Because, no joke, they got 2 tots of it a day. That's their mugs. their mugs they'd also drink water or tea or whatever else they could drink out of, right? But it was 80% proof. It was so strong that even they would be like, we have to add water to it. So, to have this knockoff shit show up, and by the way, they stopped serving rum as a requirement in the military in, I think, 1905 or whatever. Tire a half gallon of that. Gallon? Oh no. You might as well call that diabetes shit-faced. You know, like, that just sounds unpleasant. Yeah, good old Admiral Nelson. It's not even molasses that they use, which you can't even call it a rum, right? There was this HBO show that kind of fell by the wayside in between the end of like Rome and Deadwood and the start of Game of Thrones and The Wire. And it was like, well, The Wire actually was FX, right? It was Fox. Might be wrong there. But Game of Thrones, of course. But they tried a bunch of different things, including like, I think it was called just like rum or sugar, and it was this 2-season show about these modern day rum distillery family. Imagine Dallas, but instead of oil, Dallas or Dynasty, you had like sugar, and every fourth person is Latin American. Everything's Caribbean based. Everything is no, Dexter was FX. I remember that. Like, that wasn't HBO. A show I liked the theory of until I looked a little bit into it, and I was like, you could read some fucked up theories about Dexter, you know? I've met some people who wish they could just like become Batman, and they're like the most douchiest motherfuckers on the planet. I wish I could beat up all the bad people in the world. Who are the bad people? What would their skin color be? Why are they bad? Do you want to tackle that issue? No. You want to beat up the bad person coming into your house. Don't get me wrong. There could be a trans black woman breaking into my house right now. If they do, I'm fucking slamming the shit out of her. I'm gonna quote Batman in this as saying, the hammer of justice is unisex. And fucking beat the living shit out of her and then call the police. Keyword, beat the shit out of her and then call the police. I'm not gonna kill her. I'm not gonna fucking hang her from a tree. Girl with the dragon tattoo is unironically a little bit vigilante-esque. And I agree with every single person in the book and the movies who she goes after, but I also like how they don't glamorize it, because she's actually also this, she wasn't prepared for like consequences such as remorse. That's a word that's not used nearly as much these days. Remorse. Remorse is a very useful word. We need to look more into it. Yeah, of course they are. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Don't be a vigilante. You remember that guy from like Portland? He was like this decently enough built black guy, and he dressed himself up as almost like Steel. You know, like he dressed himself up as a superhero. And he went around trying to solve crimes. What happened? He got himself beat up. That's what happened. I'm not wearing hockey pads. That is a literal response to people who think that they can take the law in their own hands. Vigilantism is almost never about justice. It's about a sense of, I want to feel good about myself. This is what Raisin was talking about earlier. And it's 100% true. Like, it's really great to see an adult pull back. But an adult also should have known better to begin with. Every fight I've ever had in my life, honest to God, physical fight, I have fucking dominated. I want to stress this enough. I fucking made them howl. I don't fight, I win. I never started any of them. And they had weeks, and in some cases years, to not fucking do this. But they did. And guess what? You're looking at a guy that has literally 0 losses to his name. I don't feel joy out of hurting those people. I do feel a level of smug satisfaction from having some fucker's eyes open wide when they realize that they are the ones who fucked up. That is a memory that will follow me to the rest of my life. It is quite lovely, actually. When they realize they're all talk, and there was a reason I didn't talk about what I can do, what I can do is fucking break bones. I guess I can break bones. But I don't promote myself like that. Douchebags. Ooh, no. Alcohol or no alcohol. This is perfect. No one needs to see the. We can watch this tomorrow. Krendar didn't watch this tomorrow. Like Raisin, I suppose. If you want to spoil it, you can. But I need to find this shit. Here we go. This is it. This is exactly what I mean. All talk, no fucking weight. You watch this shit. Dexter, oh yeah, of course they are. Humans just need an excuse to commit crime waves. Of course they do, yeah. That's why we have laws. Again, of course they do. I don't trust anyone when Batman called that guy. Depending which Batman you're talking about, there was a Batman that forced Robin to eat rats, and he said punk is the music of the beast. He also compared making out with Black Canary to a Harley Davidson. Yes, that was the Frank Miller Batman. There are so many... That's the great thing about comic books. You can just go fucking wild. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. It's okay.
The body is round.
No, 1 shot.
3 shots owed.
I've stressed this enough. If you want a single shot, thank you so much. 4. A single, if you want a single shot for a single donation, then you only have to donate $1. You donated 3. I was playing with you earlier. And do you know what else? If you make a habit out of it, I will set a bare minimum. You know why? My health! It's not really that complicated. I've told this story 1,000 times. Spirits, me, not necessarily mixed. But we are at that point. It's why Cobes hasn't been given $1 with 1,000 shot limit, and then he starts consuming 1,000 shots every day. Wouldn't be worth it financially. Definitely wouldn't be worth health-wise. It wouldn't be worth stream-wise, as within an hour you would be so shit-faced every day that you would just be completely worthless to everyone else. Welcome back to a guy covered in his own sick and piss, sleeping. Not the shots over multiple days. Indeed it is! Because I kept it vague. I can keep it, I could alter it. But no. That was 1 shot, 1 dono. 10, 1,000, 1. It's all the same. You start tossing out, or you and multiple people start tossing out single dollar donations, I will set it to a 5. Or at least a 3. At this late game, though, at least for this up there, But don't forget, we got the watch party after this. And I'm drunk, but we're doing that. I am vibing here too. So I want the best of both worlds as well. We have 15 minutes on that front, by the way. Your health? What kind of shit argument is that? You said that so quickly, too.
Fucker, fuck you, dude.
Here we go.
No, fuck you, stupid. No, you tell me I can't come to fucking practice? Fuck you. No, fuck you. I came here. You want to fucking settle?
If you've ever seen the footage of the guy who kept on going back to the dojo for the guy who likes to... No, the boxing ring. He came after hours. He wanted to get into the ring to prove his worth. And he was defeated in like 5 seconds. You're gonna see the same vibe.
Right now, do it on the fucking table. You fucking beat me, and I'll fucking, fuck you, motherfucker. No, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you and your stupid skinny motherfucking ass, bitch. Bring your fucking shit, bitch. Bring your fucking shit. Bring your I ain't scared of shit. I'm fucking here, huh? You told me I couldn't fucking come. See what's up now, bitch. Come on. Quit fucking spitting on me. Fuck you, bitch. You can't take that shit. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'll wear a fucking condom on my tongue, bitch. You wanna feel that? You wanna fucking feel that, motherfucker? Yeah, that's where you fucking were, bitch. Fucking smile, bitch. I don't give a fuck. I don't even fucking like you, bitch. Get the fucking shit on the table. Get the shit on the fucking table. You're a bitch, motherfucker. I'm not fucking invited. You're not fucking invited, bitch. Come on.
Ready?
Nothing without you ain't fucking shit on, motherfucker. I got the fucking shit. I got this shit right here, bitch.
2 to 3 hours. We're going after this video, by the way.
Motherfucker. What? Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you, bitch! Come down here! Fuck you, bitch! Fucker! Come on! Come on! Come on! Fuck you! Come on,
bitch! It's so ridiculous that a lot of people are saying it's staged. I honestly don't know. We normally watch a movie. This is only the second time we've watched a TV show. I think it's staged, but you never know in this world, right? I have seen fuckwits make such a goddamn fool of themselves. I walked into a pub once, only 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? To kill some time for my train. It was literally the train bar, the railway bar in Sligo. I walked in, I looked over to the left, and this guy was slamming his fist on the table, screaming at the top of his lungs, "I will not be insulted like this! You will respect me!" Whereas he was slowly, no one else was like forcing him out. The barman was just staring at him, like eye to eye, like, not making a big deal. As he was going out, going like, "You think you won't hear from my lawyer? You'll hear from my lawyer." and eventually he walks away, right? The guy had been selling coke in his bar for the past, like, 3 weeks. And he was caught out, so he had a big hissy fit and that. Seemed like Ben the night he threw the lighter at shit. Well, you know what Ben's problem is? Ben's problem is that he has extreme depression. That's not a defense. That's his reasoning. What did I say earlier? Now, you want to see Ben at his worst. All you have to do is see how he treated Egghead. Egghead has been bullied as fuck. He made an entire stream, one of his earliest tap streams. You can still find it. You'll see me in the chat too. I'm probably egging him on because I hadn't really thought about the consequences. But he was basically, when Egghead showed up, like, also, for context, by the way, Ben was going through the whole Alicia thing. They were breaking up, and Ben, like I said, when he's depressed, he turns to alcohol and, frankly, dickness. He becomes a bit of a cunt. Because a little bit of a shithole. It's not a good look. But he went and he would call out Egghead, who had recently broken up with Egg Tits, if you may recall her, his girlfriend at the time. And he was just making fun of the fact that apparently Egghead had some sort of like erectile issue. And he was like, "Hey Egg, why don't you come on and tell us all about your fucked up dick?" You know, like, it's just... When Ben, I call it his black cloud. When it goes over him, it makes him a cunt. It makes him a piece of shit. Luckily, however, he's been addressing it with therapy. So, I haven't seen it happen since Shabby. And he's had drunk streams that I've watched for hours where he hasn't, like, gotten really depressed. I watched him once make a bunch of sock accounts and raid a guy who didn't like him. So much so he punched his own... The guy had his own mental issues, don't get me wrong, and he was promoting some fucking bullshit things. But just because the other guy is shit doesn't mean that you need to be shit. You need to look at... I'm getting into tangents. I need to focus on my topic. You need to look at like a person and be like, hey, this is good or bad, rather than like get crazy about it. But like the guy was a piece of shit, but like Ben created so many accounts praising Ben and pissing off the dude that he started punching his own mic, and I honestly thought that was a form of bullying because the guy was mentally ill, clearly. It was like that guy who we watched a couple of months ago who was like sitting on his chair talking to his mother, screeching about how he was sexually assaulted. You know how I found out about that guy? Drunken peasants. I could have not shown that. That makes me complicit. So I shouldn't have done it. I look at Kevin Joseph King and I feel sad that, you know, the guy is mentally not stable and well, and while he seems to have a pure heart, he doesn't know how to express it. But then you see things about him like filming his neighbors and shit. It's because he doesn't have a handler. Like, that guy shouldn't be streaming, so I shouldn't promote it. It's why we don't show Gale on my channel. Gale is a fascinating woman. Magicus has recently been called out by Gale, but it's because Ben paid her. Because she's a schizo. Because she's mentally unwell. Because she needs to be committed. She doesn't know better. She doesn't know better. Tila Tequila doesn't know better. Trissa Payas does, because that's calculated. She might be uneducated, but she's not fucking unsavvy. There's a big deal. A lot of these fucking white nationalist motherfuckers need to know the difference between being savvy or cunning, as they would call it, which, yeah, it's true too, and being educated. Hell, John Morgan's gotta know that shit. He's an incredibly intelligent person, but Jesus Christ. Like, people will just move around him. Do it on the right. Anyway, I've been gabbing, and clearly I am too drunk to continue on streaming unless I was doing a total wasted Wednesday thing. But I'm not! You fuckers have something else to look forward to, assuming you go over to Twitch and subscribe to Low Energy Videos. Link in the doobly-doo, aka the description. Just scroll down. Show more. Yo boy. Also find me on Twitter too. Yeah, I'll be back, well, tomorrow to do Bearded Ramblings with Raisin, who might still be in the chat, and Two Guns. It's been a while since that's why I thought a few seconds ago. Wait, who? You know what? We had Two Guns on, so we look forward to seeing him again. This time next week, no drunken stream. I know I said earlier what I do next week, but I can't remember. If anyone in the chat could tell me, I'd be a big appreciation. Because I had this plan, I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense, and now I'm very drunk, so. That's... Oh, there you are, Raisin. Good to see you. Yep. If you want to join Raisin, Billy, Troy, Billy Boy Blue, yourself, and others, in theory, you just become a subscriber over on Twitch. Otherwise, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. It'll be a fun. I believe in you. Do you believe in me? No? Good. I'm shaky foundation. But I am a foundation at least. I am Tutorial Island. You will go far. I've seen